Newcastle United 2, Manchester United 0, and Manchester United were deservedly beaten by Newcastle today. If you are a United fan, you can't complain. I can't complain today. Newcastle deserved the victory. They played much better. Two headers today from Willock and Wilson sealed the win. And like I said, Newcastle deserved it. Their midfield were better. Their wingers were better. And to be honest, United haven't played well for a long period of time. And this was coming. This was coming. But like I said, we have to talk about Weghorst. We have to talk about the midfield today. And like I said, the way we have been playing and the way we play without Casemiro, we've been exposed today. And I think there's a lot of questions to be asked. I don't think we should be nervous or scared about top four, but at least be thinking, about at least winning the next few games. If not, we could start seeing ourselves in a top four race that we do not want to be in, especially if you want to win the FA Cup and the Europa League as well. There's a lot to get into, guys. Today wasn't a good day. We did not play well at all, and there's many, many reasons why. But as McTominay is not a number 10, and McTominay is not that guy to be played further forward. And I think fundamentally, that's one of the main things that we missed. We missed that link. We couldn't get the ball from De Gea to our attacker. We couldn't. It always broke down. We're not seeing Ten Hag football at all. We're seeing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer transition Bruno long ball to Rashford football. That's what we've been seeing over the past few weeks. We've reverted back to that. And I know Ten Hag wants to be braver. I know he wants to play a different type of style of football. But Newcastle was so comfortable on the ball. Their midfield were just passing it left, right, triangles, passing lanes. They were closing down our attackers quickly. Whenever De Gea had the ball, the way they pressed effectively, efficiently, with speed, intensity, De Gea had no choice but to go long all the time. And I hope you guys are starting to now understand that we are nowhere near. The way that Arsenal is consistently playing the same way, at the same level, every single game, no matter who the opposition is, they're keeping the ball, they're moving it. Intensity, speed. This is not it. So part of me can't wait, even though the season that we still can win the FA Cup and we can still win the Europa League, a part of me can't wait for the season to be over to see how Ten Hag analyzes the team. What players Ten Hag thinks should go, what players Ten Hag wants to keep, what players Ten Hag wants to bring in, and how he configures his team, because he's now had a whole season to see every single player. If you're not... But as usual, guys, before we get into it on this channel, smash the like, turn on the notifications, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe below. Brand new channel. I hope you guys are feeling good, even though United, we lost today. Hope you guys had a good week. Football is back after the silly... For me, I don't really like international breaks. I mean, I watch World Cups and I watch international tournaments. When it comes to international breaks, leave me out of it. Just leave me out. So I'm glad football's back. But boy, today was not a good day. I was looking forward to this game. I thought United were going to do something. We're going to show us something after a 2-week break. But we didn't see the fight. We didn't see anything from the guys today. The formation, yes, we know Casemiro is not available. And that was one of the things that everyone's thinking about. What are United going to look like without Casemiro? How are United going to play without Casemiro? And let's not forget, it's not just without Casemiro, it's without Casemiro and without Eriksen. Eriksen was one of the most important parts of our midfield at the beginning of the season and throughout the season. And today we saw, let's talk the lineup. Okay, the lineup, first of all, I understand, guys, why he started McTominay and Sabitzer. One, he doesn't have many options. You could argue he could start Fred, But I guess the intensity of the game and the fact it's Newcastle and the fact that both McTominay and Sabitzer had really good international breaks. So I get it. I didn't understand why he started McTominay further forward and put Bruno deeper. I guess he wanted someone who can, a ball playing midfielder further back who can receive the ball from the defence and give it to the attackers. But McTominay is not a number 10 and McTominay is not that guy to be played further forward. And I think fundamentally that's one of the main things that we missed. We missed that link. We couldn't get the ball from De Gea to our attacker. We couldn't. It always broke down. Our midfield just didn't work today. But we'll get into it. We will get into it, guys. But, I understand why he started the midfield three. You could argue he could have started Fred. You could argue he could have gone braver and decided, you know what? If Martial is fit enough to start or to be on the bench, maybe I should start with him. Because as much as Weghorst has been putting in his shift, I've said this on the channel many times about Weghorst. He's not my type of striker, but he adds to the team. His link-up play has been really good. His work rate has been really good. And he genuinely makes us play better. However, for me, the main job of a striker will always be to score. And even if he doesn't score, at least be able to score. And I don't think Weghorst is a very good finisher. I really don't. And I think if Martial's fit enough to be on the bench, could he have started? I don't know. But part of me think I want him to go a bit braver, but maybe he knows he can't go a bit braver because at the end of the day, another thing I want to point out is the fact that we're not seeing Ten Hag ball. We're not seeing Ten Hag football at all. We're seeing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer transition Bruno long ball to Rashford football. That's what we've been seeing over the past few weeks. We've reverted back to that. And I know Ten Hag wants to be braver. I know he wants to play a different type of style of football. But at the moment, we're not seeing that. And the style of football we're playing is suiting, the guys like Bruno and Rashford and those guys a bit more, for instance. But I don't know. I question the starting lineup while I understand why the manager has done what he's done. The back four, I get it. That's probably our strongest back four. You can argue Aaron Wan-Bissaka could be in there. But whatever. But yeah, so that's the starting lineup. How the game unfolded though, guys. How the game unfolded, like I said, I did not expect Newcastle to dominate in the way they dominated today. Like the first 10 minutes, I always like to gauge what's going on within the first 10 minutes, like to understand what the possible patterns of play are going to be, what the battle lines are going to be. You gauge that within the first 10 minutes. Newcastle was so comfortable on the ball. Their midfield were just passing it left, right, triangles, passing lanes. They were closing down our attackers quickly. Whenever De Gea had the ball, the way they pressed effectively, efficiently, with speed, intensity. De Gea had no choice but to go long all the time. All the time to try to go long to Rashford or to Weghorst. And De Gea is not the greatest kick up the ball. He's not the greatest distributor at all. We know this already about De Gea. So this was a problem. We just kept losing the ball. That was really effective. And whenever it got to our midfield, we just couldn't keep the ball. Our midfielders are not comfortable on possession. It's not like our midfielders can go left and go right and drift here and drift there and receive the ball with their back to the defender or receive the ball facing the defender or receive the ball in many different situations. Our midfielders today are very sort of static and robotic in their movement. There was no cohesion in the way we played, so we couldn't find that vertical pass lane. We didn't have a number 10 who can receive the ball with the back to go, and Weghorst just couldn't get into the game. We couldn't get him into the game at all. Newcastle did really well to compress their midfield and stifle us out anytime United got the ball. Our midfield is non-existent, like I said. And within the 15th minute, Newcastle had a chance. And to be honest, Newcastle should have scored. The goal was coming, guys. The goal was coming. Isak and Willock double save from De Gea. Really good double save from De Gea, but Newcastle should have scored then. Longstaff had a header. I think Longstaff was offside, to be honest. But it was a cross from St. Maximin. Longstaff had a header. It went wide. That was another chance. I think, like I said, on Longstaff was offside. But however, the point remains that Maximum and Isak today, especially in the first half, but to be honest, the whole game, had so much joy. Isak more in the first half. Isak more in the 30 minutes. And one thing I noticed is that I saw Antony doubling up with Diego Dalot a lot. He does a lot of the donkey work, Antony. He tracks back a lot. But I didn't see the same on the left-hand side. I didn't really see Rashford coming back. I saw Bruno having to move over onto the left-hand side to cover for Rashford. And I know that could possibly be an instruction from Ten Hag, the way we play, i.e. keep Rashford up front because, on the counter-attack, he's effective. So, because he stays up front a bit more often, we have to make do, cover his position. However, I also see Man City and I also see Arsenal and the way that they play, and they play with intensity, with purpose. And their wingers, they do a lot of donkey work. Their wingers do a lot of tracking back. So I don't know if that's an excuse. I don't know if I want to see sort of Rashford just track back a bit more, But the funny thing is, United took a bit of steam. It's like between 20 and 30 minutes within the second half, United took a bit of steam out of the game. The game slowed a little bit. But we're still bypassing. United was still bypassing our midfield. It was still, let's get the ball from defence to attack as quick as possible, which is fine if you've got the ability to find your man, but not if you're just playing long balls. Bruno had a penalty shout. I don't think it was a penalty. Longstaff had a far-in shot that was wide, I think. And then Newcastle had another chance around the 39th minute when Willock should have scored. St. Maximin pulled it back and Willock should have scored. So the signs were there. The signs were there throughout the first half. And like I said, Newcastle should have scored in the first half. It should have been at least 1-0. But United, we didn't find that gear. We just didn't find that gear at all. And we just needed that DM to get the ball from the defence, to turn and find it. We just didn't have the quality in midfield. I could actually talk to you in detail about everything that went wrong today, but I'll be here forever, guys. The problem today, and the problem is our midfield. I understand why the manager wants De Jong. I get it. We just look hopeless today. But that was the first half. The second half, no difference. Newcastle started the second half exactly the same way they ended. On top, pinning United back. Their wingers were just much more effective than our wingers. I don't think Antony had a terrible game, but he didn't have a great game today. Rashford, to be honest, Rashford hasn't played well once again for a few games. He hasn't scored for a few games. And I don't know, we're starting to now, and I hope you guys are starting to now understand that we are nowhere near. The way that Arsenal are just consistently playing the same way, at the same level, every single game. Every game, no matter who the opposition is, they're keeping the ball, they're moving it. Intensity, speed. We don't even know what United are going to turn up on any given day. This is not, and I want to make it clear, this is not Ten Hag's team yet, by nowhere near Ten Hag's team. The way we play, nowhere near. It isn't. And yeah, like I said, I just want us to understand that. So when these results come along and we lose 2-0, it's not, oh my God, we lose 2-0. It's like, yes, we lost 2-0. I can see it coming because we don't, yes, we've been winning games, but we haven't been playing well. So this result, it was always going to happen, So, like Antony went off, and that leads me back to the whole point where I think Antony played okay, but he didn't play. I mean, Rashford could have went off. But, Rashford has scored goals this season. The kid has played really well this season in terms of the goals he's scored. I think he's his best goal scorer in the season. He might be. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So I get why you'd want to keep Rashford on. So yeah, Antony and Weghorst came off for Sancho and Martial. Like I said, I wish that we could get into the position where we didn't have to play big players to match Newcastle, because Man City players aren't big. Bernardo Silva isn't big. Saka isn't big for us. I want to get to a position where we're so comfortable in the way we play that we will just outplay a big team, a physical team, or outplay, a team that's slick on the ball as well. Rather than let's play these big strong players, or let's play this midfield to combat this. I don't want to change the way we play or change our personnel for the opposition. And that's where I want to get to. I want to get to the stage where we feel comfortable playing our technical players. And our technical players can play technical football, but also run and do the tracking back and do the dirty part of football, the part of football that a lot of technical players don't want to do. But anyway, I sidetrack. The reason why I sidetrack is because very soon after the second half started, Newcastle scored. And as soon as Newcastle scored, I thought to myself, that's it, it's done. The way the whole game has been panning out, the way United have been playing, it's done. It's done. It was a good goal, actually. It was a good goal, sorry. Willock header, I think. Willock header from St. Maximum's header. So it was Bruno's cross, Maximum's header, Willock's header. Well-deserved, like I said, well-deserved goal. What can I say? Very disappointing from obviously my point of view. But I can't say anything. They deserve to win. They deserve the goal. No United fan can say anything today. Today we just got to be like, do you know what? We played crap. We were rubbish. Cool. Well done. Newcastle made their changes. Eddie Howe was just chilling, feeling calm. And the thing is, the funny thing is, after that goal, United actually started playing better. We started, after the changes, bringing on Sancho and Martial, we started keeping the ball better. We started linking the play a little bit better, playing a bit with a bit more purpose. Definitely a bit more intent. We were playing it vertically. We weren't just playing it side to side. We were, Martial was dropping deeper like he does to link the play and keep the ball ticking over. And I thought, okay, all right, we could get a goal. It could. I mean, we don't deserve it, but I can see 1-1. I can see us equalising. But when I think it's that chance when Joe Linton header was saved from De Gea and hit the crossbar, and then Martial cleared the ball off the line, I thought to myself, and then Isak came off for Wilson, and then we made all those crazy changes. Literally, Scott McTominay came off, Martinez came off, Varane came off for Fred, Pellistri and Lindelof. I thought to myself, okay, do you know what? 9 minutes to go, 1-0 up. This could be 2-0. This could easily be 2-0. And behold, yes, 2-0. Wilson header from a corner sealed the victory. And like I've been saying throughout the whole video, deserved. I wasn't looking forward to this game. I was not, because, like I said, I know what we look like without Casemiro, and we do not look good. I understand why you wanted De Jong. I understand why you wanted a DM. We still don't have a DM. Sabitz not a DM. Bruno's not a DM. And neither is Scott McTominay. They don't play well together. Neither of them can carry the ball. Neither of them can drop a shoulder. Neither of them are good at receiving the ball from the back four. The midfield just did not work at all today. We had no composure. We were pressured into making mistake after mistake. While when they had the ball, their fullbacks doubled up. They made overlapping runs. We very rarely got into position. Today we looked like an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer team. A team that's not as good as Newcastle. We look like the second best team. We look like the team that's like 6 or something, trying to beat them. We played transition football today. We played the whole sitting back and counter-attack today. That's not Ten Hag football. And like I've been saying, the longer the season has gone on, the more injuries we've had, is the more that I see that we are playing more Ollie football, more the football from last year. And the one thing I'm hoping Ten Hag is a manager that learns. I'm hoping that he's seen all of these things, he's watching all these things, and he's taking it in, and he's learning, and he's coming to the right conclusions. That's all I'm hoping. I'm hoping he's like, okay, cool. All right, I've tried this. This didn't work. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've tried this, and this guy doesn't work here. I'm hoping he knows that this team still needs major surgery. It's not the finished article. We need ballers. And we need ballers who can play in the Premier League, not just ballers who can just ball, but ballers who can ball and, give it some. We need, as much as we all talk about pace and power, and I don't like a footballer who's just pace and power, but we need a bit of pace and power in the Premier League, unfortunately. So, yeah, I hope he's a quick learner. Newcastle are a good team. Newcastle don't concede a lot of goals anyway to anybody. And that's the reason why they're in the top 4. They're ahead of us now. And I don't think, we're going to face teams, but hopefully not as hard as Newcastle. My only worry is we're going to be facing teams fighting relegation that are going to dig deep. And if we play like this for the rest of the season, we will fall out of top 4. We will. We need to play much better than this if we are going to finish in the top 4 this season. 100%. But I have faith. I don't think there's no need to be, too negative, doom and gloom. All we can do is analyse this game, and on this game we were just crap. We were rubbish. But I'm just hoping that we play much better in the next game. That's all you can do. Onwards and upwards. I think our next game is midweek. And then we got play on weekend again. So a lot of games coming up, guys. What did you guys think of the game? I don't want to give a man of the match. I don't think there was one. I think we just played poorly. What do you guys think of the arguments after the game between the players? I think that's quite healthy. It shows the players care. But we want a happy camp. A happy camp is always a better camp. So I hope Ten Hag can bring the guys together and galvanise them for the next game. And I hope that I hope Martial's big injuries are behind him and we start seeing him, Sancho. We hope we start seeing better football. Part of me can't wait for pre-season. A part of me can't, because I know this is not it. This is not it, and we're nowhere near Arsenal and Man City. In terms of the way we play, consistency and everything else, we're nowhere near. This is not it. So a part of me can't wait, even though the season that we still can win the FA Cup and we can still win the Europa League, a part of me can't wait for the season to be over to see how Ten Hag analyses the team. What players Ten Hag thinks should go, what players Ten Hag wants to keep, what players Ten Hag wants to bring in, and how he configures his team, because he's now had a whole season to see every single player in training, their attitude. He's had a whole season to play in the Premier League, to understand the league and what is required to win the league. So I want to see what conclusions he arrives after absorbing all of that for a year and what he thinks we need. That I'm so curious about that. So part of me can't wait to see what surgery do you think we need, man? What? Knee surgery? Open heart surgery? Let me know. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it, man. That's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys' thoughts on it are. Like you said, these guys behind me on my screen, celebrating, laughing, smiling. Eddie Howe. Well done, Eddie. You did a number on my manager, but you can suck your mum as well. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a good Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Not a good result, but hopefully we can kick on, man. We have to. Yeah. All right. Peace. Love, guys. If you're not